I like it. Maybe someday. Hello, YouTube and Facebook, and you platforms specifically. You're the exclusive list. If you were a TikTok viewer, which we did have quite a few of those, you're gone. So you've made it, YouTube and Facebook, to the final round. It's the championship game. Which one will survive? Hopefully both of you, because all three were supposed to survive. Anyways, okay, I think I'm all set. If you guys are, I'm going to hit record. Check.
I'm ready.
Oh yeah, let me record. Sorry, I'm looking at the sizing for the Pudge tea.
I'm ready.
All right.
Welcome to the Fifth and Goal Sports Podcast. Now, here are your hosts, Aaron, Josh, and Johnny.
Welcome to the show. Look, they said it couldn't be done. And it may still not be able to be done because one of us could just drop dead, actually dead. But for the first time in years, decades, the three of us are together recording a podcast. And guys, it feels good. It feels good to be in the same virtual voice channel that only glitches out every couple of minutes. So good to be back, guys.
Good. Thank you, Discord. Thank you, Stream Deck.
Yeah, Stream Deck
guys. Well, we got to get back in the rhythm.
I know.
We know. Here.
Do we know how to do this show anymore?
No.
Have we? Well, but have we
ever though? Before?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, right. Well, listeners, viewers, I hope you're doing well. And you can't probably be doing that bad because we're sitting here on a Monday, August 18th, and we have football in front of us. And it's not just NFL preseason. We have, honest to goodness, college football. Week 0 is on Saturday, and we could not be more excited. So we're going to spend some time talking about that. We're going to spend some time talking about our good friends up north and some of the troubles that they have and also haven't gotten themselves into. We've got Johnny's top 25, which you'll see.
It's stressed, but I have football to look forward to. So it's making the week just fly by at the same time. Well, it's flying by and it's crawling all at once. Excitement one moment, and the next I am very impatient, waiting for Farmageddon. Can we just also, we talk negatively about getting big nooned on this podcast. For once, I am quite pleased that we have a noon kickoff for the biggest game of the day.
Absolutely.
Week 0, no reason to delay it. Biggest game at noon. Now, mind you, I said biggest game, not the only game, not even the most important game, just
correct.
The biggest game of the day. There are some amazing games after the fact. And we will cover all of them.
Yes, we will. Yeah. Are you here for a breakdown of a 7:30 p.m. CBS game between Hawaii and Stanford? Well, you are now. Josh, what's going on, man?
I'm doing great. I went to go download the lovely attachment that Johnny sent to us on email.
Yeah. And it's pages.
And my email browser, Gmail, decided to go, hey, this looks like a phishing attack. Are you sure you want to download college football 25-26 season.pages?
That doesn't sound like something. Josh, that sounds like research. It knew better.
So I clicked phishing. Johnny, I don't know if you're going to be able to send emails from that account anymore.
You claim phishing. It's okay. I have several burner email accounts to send it to. Still.
Like a good fisher, I can imagine. Downloaded, no viruses, we're good.
Josh never falls for the IT guy sending that fake phishing email to make you sit into a 4-hour company meeting.
Yeah, exactly.
I did once, and that was it.
Oh, it only takes once. After that, you're not willing to risk another 4-hour meeting. You're not willing
and
to
now
risk
every
it.
time, here's what you can do. I know the 3 domains they sent from. I'm like, oh, is this a @securesafe.com domain? Oh, yeah, this is a phishing attack. Test. Let me go. I'm not even going to click, hey, Josh, here's an offer for you from your American Express card. Don't have one. I know that. Hey, your boss wants to have a meeting with you. Click this link for Teams. I know my boss hates Teams.
Hmm.
Do
I
better.
hate Teams. I like your boss. Teams is the worst.
Yep.
It's the only way I can
Teams
get people
can
to
go to
actually
jail.
respond to their email things.
Hmm.
Respond to your emails better, and maybe I don't have to schedule things on Teams.
True.
As you can tell, we desperately need football.
Yeah, we really do. Yeah, we really
We've
do.
delved into Office Chatter so quickly. Guys, I'm sorry.
That's
You were teased with Hawaii Stanford.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we
Let's
talked
circle
about
back
circling
around
back.
here,
Yeah,
Josh.
let's circle back to Hawaii Stanford.
We'll put a pin in that. We'll go. Aaron, please.
Yeah, okay. Do we want to be happy or sad? Well, actually, that's not
Happy.
okay. Happy
Always-
first. Week 0.
Well,
Because sad is me
yes.
saying Michigan stuff, but I don't know if we are sad because we have told you all along how this was going to go down, and we were correct. We'll get to that. Week
we'll put
0.
that tiger on the table and yell at it in a second.
Yeah,
Till
exactly.
then, I think that's a term.
Yes, good business term there, Josh.
Good business term.
Let me just give you guys a quick I almost said I don't know what word I was trying to say.
A rundown?
Thank you. This show is stupid. Let me give you a rundown of week 0, the games that we have coming up on Saturday. And I will say, for the most part, we as a collective, we, meaning not us, but TV people, have done a pretty good job of spacing these games out.
Yeah.
Iowa State, Kansas State, the aforementioned noon game on ESPN from Ireland. UNLV, Idaho State which is also why it's at noon. It's not because the TV people are being nice to us. It's so that these teams aren't playing at like 3 in the morning in Ireland. UNLV
Right.
plays Idaho State. That game you're going to have to do a little bit of digging to find, but I believe it's available streaming online on the Mountain West Network. The Fighting Dan Mullins play their first game of the year. Game 3, Kansas in their new renovated stadium with Wheat in the end zone. Love that. Hosts Fresno State at 6:30 p.m. That game is on Fox. You've got Western Kentucky, go Big Red. You know which shirt I'll be wearing next week. Versus the Sam Houston Bearcats, spelled with a K for some unknown reason. That's a conference game, and that's at 7 p.m. on CBS Sports Network. We've got some Conference USA action. And then Hawaii versus Stanford. This is a home game for Hawaii. It's not a Hawaii test like it was last year, if you recall. That game started against Delaware State at midnight. Aaron, why do you know that? Because I'm insane and stayed up till 4 in the morning watching it. But you don't have to get your trusty app out, the Team One Sports app. This one's just on CBS. So kick off that theme music, get a dose of nostalgia. Watch what actually could be a pretty competitive game, mostly because I think Stanford's going to have a tough season. Unique situation there, which we'll talk about. We are going to pick Farmageddon, so we'll give you hints and ideas of what we might be doing, but we'll address our actual game picks in picks of the week. But guys, we've had week 0 games. We've had them in Ireland. This game is, wow. This is probably the most impactful game in terms of conference races and anything else that we've had maybe ever on a week 0.
Yeah, easily the biggest, best game. It is a ranked matchup. If you're looking at the AP poll, it's also a ranked matchup. In my preseason poll, I don't think you could have a reputable preseason poll and not have both of these teams ranked, no matter where you have them. I was talking to Aaron and Josh before the podcast, and while the Big 12 is difficult to pick conference matchups week to week, no matter what, because there's just not a large gap between any of the teams. As you can see, if you look on any betting website for the favorites to win the conference, they are all crushed together. There's not a lot of space in between, which means we're talking about a few fluky plays, a blocked kick, an injury to one of the team's key players away from you could be 11-1 or you could be 6-6. It's really not going to be a huge gap. And so that means that there's like 8 teams that if you told me in this conference win it, I'm not stunned. I might be a little surprised, but not stunned. This game is fascinating because you would actually say preseason, if this was week 10, this is probably one of the top 3 games coming into the season that you would circle and say is going to be one of the determining matchups for who wins the conference title. You have 2 of maybe the best coaches in the conference in Matt Campbell and excuse me, Kleiman for Kansas State. You have two returning quarterbacks in Avery Johnson and Rocco Becht. Both of them have shown ups and downs. Rocco, I think, is a little bit more seasoned, a better passer, more consistent, but he lost both of his two main targets on the outside. Both, I believe, second-round picks.
And both had 1,000 yards, which is crazy for Iowa State.
Yes.
That's crazy.
They were excellent.
Yep.
And Iowa State is, as we have seen through the ups and downs of Matt Campbell, a developmental program still. People were like, oh man, what happened to Iowa State kind of the last couple, not last year, but the years before? And the answer is simply put, he is not a transfer portal coach. So he truly still gets in the freshmen who were underrated. He finds diamonds in the rough in recruiting, and he develops them really, really well. So by the time that group is juniors, seniors, they pop.
Yep.
Great team. Kansas State, very similar mold in that way, except they don't dip quite as much. So about the bottom for Kansas State in a normal year is like 8-4. Like 8-4. But they don't really usually do any better than 10-2. So what's this year going to be? Avery Johnson struggling to stay healthy, struggling to be a consistent passer, but he is one of the more veteran quarterbacks coming back in the entire country, and he's explosive. That run game should be crazy, as they always are.
Yep.
Both are excellently coached. I am very torn how to pick this game.
It's interesting too because, like, I totally agree with you in your assessment of Avery Johnson. It's like, wow, there's clearly some room to grow. We saw that in some of their games, like against Arizona State, they scored 14 points. The Sun Devils really shut them down. At the same time, Avery Johnson set the record, the Kansas State record for most passing touchdowns in a season. Now, it's not an extremely high bar, but half the reason Will Howard left Kansas State is because there was some thought that he was going to get supplanted as the starter anyways. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know, but that was at least the rumor coming out of Manhattan, which is interesting. But then on the other side, you have Rocco Becht. We talked about this. Like, it's the what if Iowa gets good quarterback play. We talked about that in our Big 12, our Big 10 series. Well, Iowa State, same deal, and they do. They've got a quarterback who threw for 3,505 yards last year, which doesn't happen all that often in Ames. Josh, how long is the beer snake going to be in Ireland? Because that's what's the over-under on that?
What a great question. I have been following, as you know, a very U.S. versus the rest of the world battle that happens from my vantage point, primarily on TikTok. It does spill over into Twitter. Twitter is more for insane sports takes and just the most insane stuff. So on TikTok, I've found that it's very easy to incite the Europeans. Just today, I saw a video that was a stitch. There's been this thing going around Europe where they think our bread is made of sponges because you can squish a piece of like Wonder Bread and it kind of sponges back. And it's like, all right, cool.
In fairness, Josh, their bread is much better.
I'm not saying it's not. But also, we do have those guys. Like, I can go get a nice loaf of sourdough from a local bakery, like, in 10 minutes. And that's me shutting down everything here and driving out to the closest bakery. So it's like, yeah, cool. Our Wonder Bread is bad. Congratulations. And then the stitch was literally just a guy banging a baguette on a table saying,
it's a hammer.
European bread 5 minutes after you purchase it.
Very good.
And that's funny.
Yeah.
And it brought all the Europeans to start yelling at us, and it was fantastic. So anyway, on that vein, there have been a lot of primarily British people, I will say that, not Irish, British people, saying they can outdrink the US.
Oh, man.
And
Not
I don't
if
think
they're
they've
from the upper
seen
Midwest.
I don't think they've seen a map of the heaviest drinkers in the States. Wisconsin can outdrink any of you.
Yeah. Iowa's
right there. They are not quite as deep, but Iowa and Kansas 100% are making, you know what? it's going to be a mile long. How about that? We're not going to
Mm.
use stupid metric systems.
Yeah.
Them and the Irish, that's going to be some. Can you imagine if it was Paul Bunyan's axe
Oh.
in Dublin,
Oh,
Minnesota, and Wisconsin?
That would be like
That
yeah.
you just should set up
guys
prisons
wanna brag?
in outside because everybody's going to be intoxicated.
yeah.
Like just
Oh.
yeah, cool.
Have
I
holding
hope that
cells.
Guinness factory in Dublin is still like has been working overtime for the past few weeks.
Mhm.
They're about to get drunk dry.
Oh man. Oh man.
Americans, you know what you need to do. Empty that stadium. We've done it here at multiple venues. You have to.
Yeah, I don't think they need encouraged, to be honest, Josh. But I like the,
No, they
the
don't.
motivation that was good, or
motivation,
terrible
yeah.
actually. But you get my drift.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, I hope the environment's great for this. Like it has been really fun in the past. I don't expect anything less. I don't know how well Kansas State and Iowa State travel to this, but seemingly every year it feels like it's well attended. And I mean, even when you had Nebraska
Yeah.
Northwestern, that seemed to kind of be a hit. So, I mean, it's not going to be Notre Dame. That was kind of a life of its own when they played Navy, but that game was over in the first quarter. So, and that was 2 years ago.
yes.
And you got a really, really good game last year, Florida State, Georgia Tech. Of course, it was before we knew how bad Florida State was going to be. So I'm looking forward to this. Guys, just in terms of X's and O's, and I'll give my actual pick, like I said later, the key that I'm watching is you've got, if you're Kansas State, you've got Jace Brown back. That was Avery Johnson's favorite target. On the other side, for Iowa State, Jontez Williams is one of the best corners in the game. So who wins that battle? That's going to be a really big deal. Does Williams just shut down wide receiver 1 for Kansas State? Iowa State's won 4 out of the last 5. And Kleiman has been the coach for all of those games, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So I cannot wait. Cannot wait. Turnover battle will be huge. I mean, I think this will be close. It's hard for me to imagine a huge blowout, mostly because I think these two teams play good enough defense. I mean, last year, if you just want to look at pure numbers, Kansas State only allows 23.4. That's 50th in the FBS. Iowa State pretty much right there at 22.9. If you do even more digging, their offensive numbers extremely similar. Like statistically, these two teams were very, very similar. The big difference is Iowa State was not very good at getting sacks. That's probably the biggest departure from a statistical standpoint last year. But both of these teams have a lot of veterans coming back, so I'm excited. Game 2. The Rebels of UNLV play Idaho State. I don't have a lot to add here because this is one of those, actually the only FBS versus FCS game on the slate. But Dan Mullen at UNLV is really fun. And if you think there's a team in the Mountain West that can supplant Boise State, most people think it's UNLV, which is very fun. We
And
may or
tickets
may
are
not.
$21.
Well, that's great. Yeah. It also got moved. This was supposed to be a week 3 game, and it got moved like
Yeah.
just a few weeks ago. So that's kind of fun.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. UNLV, I believe, is second or third on the odds to even be the group of 5 team in the playoffs.
Yep.
So that's how highly people think of them, because this year
Mhm.
going into it, it's pretty unanimous, people picking Boise to go back to the playoff again.
Yeah.
So if you're
Yeah.
looking for a potential other team, Aaron, you're absolutely right with UNLV, but we
it's
don't
not the easiest schedule, but it's very winnable.
know.
Yeah.
And remember, it's
At St.
about winning your
Houston,
conference.
versus UCLA, exactly.
I
At
mean, you
Miami,
have to
at
be the
Wyoming,
highest
like,
ranked
Yeah.
out of the group of 5. So the non-conference does matter,
Mhm.
but they're not going to get dinged like he wasn't dinged last year for losing to Oregon.
Right.
Right.
If anything, that was actually almost an asset because of how closely they played the Ducks after
Mhm.
Oregon ran the table.
Yep.
Aaron, game 3, game 3 is the second most anticipated game easily to me. Because Fresno State is steady as she goes in the Mountain West. Not great, but right at that like 7-5 threshold every year. So a
Mhm.
decent non-conference opponent. And then Kansas, who is a total wild card to me in the Big 12.
Yep.
It's
Totally.
one of the teams nobody's talking about, and everybody's talking about every team in the Big 12, I feel like, except Kansas. Lance Leipold is one of the most underrated coaches in the country, and it is all about Jalen Daniels being healthy.
Yep.
It is. which is just it's insane because that's what we talk about every single year, seemingly. But Kansas, if he had gotten healthy just a little bit earlier last year, they're a bowl team.
Yep.
He just didn't get healthy quite soon enough because they went on a tear of destruction towards the end of last season, trying to pick off every Big 12 contender at the end of the season and ruin their chances for the entire conference.
And they did for
to
BYU.
get multiple bids.
Yep.
Yeah, they ruined the conference's chance at getting multiple teams in the playoff single-handedly. They just went after those teams late in the season, and that's the Kansas team that is terrifying.
Mhm.
They are absolutely going to beat one or two contenders no matter what happens this season. But if Jalen Daniels is healthy, they can be a contender. They can get to Dallas in the Big 12 title game. Heck, they can win the Big 12 title game. It is not just a wild card team that could maybe get there and then they're going to get blown out. If Kansas gets there, they can win the darn thing. They also could lose to Fresno State.
Yes,
they really could.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It would not be the
Amen.
most shocking thing in the world if they lose to the Bulldogs. And that's not a dig on Lance Leipold. I actually, again, think he's a fantastic coach. Kansas was in the dregs of college football for an eternity, and that man has turned it around almost instantaneously. And yes, turning it around for Kansas is getting to multiple bowl games.
Yeah.
End of story.
Yep.
So I am really fascinated. I want Daniels healthy, of course, but I'm fascinated to see what's around him at Kansas, if that run game's still going to be very solid, what the defense looks like, see if they're going to be able to hold up in the lines of scrimmage in Big 12 play.
And Kansas literally did lose to a Mountain West team last year. Now, it was UNLV. We just talked about them. That was a very good team last year that took Syracuse down to the wire, too. To your point, Johnny, if Kansas reaches a bowl game, it will be their third bowl game in 4 years. That's the best stretch in program history. It's
Right.
not a great history, mind you, but it's a long one. And Kansas hasn't even had a coach that's accidentally backed them into 6 wins 3 out of 4 years. So Leipold's doing a good job there as well. Let me just play, maybe the opposite of devil's advocate, angel's advocate. Here's what happens if heaven descends upon the Kansas football program. And it's exactly what you just said. The best case scenario plays out. So you have a healthy Jalen Daniels, first and foremost, dual threat quarterback, who, despite not passing well at all last year, interceptions were a problem. He did have a career high 447 rush yards. And they actually feel decent about the backup quarterback situation there, which normally you don't want to get into, but with him, that's been a relevant conversation. Fresno State, let's say they win that game at home, breaking in the new upgraded stadium. Wagner, FCS, comes in. Usually an FCS team would scare you if you're Kansas. Not this year. They'll be okay. At Missouri, week 2. The border war is back, which is awesome.
Lovely.
Finally.
That's going to be
As
a
it
huge
should
test.
be.
As it should be. It's the first time it's back since
I think since
2011.
Missouri left.
Yeah, since they left in
Yeah.
2011. They played, let me do the quick math here, 120 years in a row. And we've had to wait 14 years. And-
Jail for everybody who
Yes.
ruined that
Jail.
streak.
Yes.
How dare.
Missouri leads the all-time series 56, 55, and 9. So that's kind of fun.
It's crazy it's that close.
It is crazy, and it's only because Missouri towards the end, right before they left, what'd they do? Win 3 out of 4, something like that. Anyways, so that's going to be a tough challenge. Missouri is going to be up and ready for that just as much as Kansas. But we'll set that on the shelf just for now. Home against West Virginia. We don't know what the heck West Virginia is. That's a team with 70 new players. And I'm not even exaggerating. It's a brand new roster.
Nothing.
We don't think they're going to
fun.
be very good, but we'll see. Home against Cincinnati. That's a team that's got some upside, but
Bottom.
probably not going to end up bottom of the Big 12. At UCF, same thing. Very, very new team. Scott Frost is back, yes, but this is almost an entirely new roster as well. So let's take Missouri down from the shelf. Because if Kansas wins all those games and they somehow, it's going to be a tough task, but it's a rivalry, they go into Columbia and win that, we're looking at a 6-0 Kansas team. And I know they were good in 2023, 9 wins. Is the internet ready for a 6-0 team going to Texas Tech?
Oh,
I think the answer is no. I don't think
that's
we are ready for that.
fantastic.
But I
That's so
wish
good.
that happens so bad. And then the game that Kansas has never been able to win, almost quite literally, is Kansas State.
Yes.
And they have a bye week before
they
that
could
Kansas
beat
State game.
Texas, but not Kansas State.
They've lost 16 in a row to Kansas State. 16.
Sunflower Showdown.
And there's been some years where Kansas State's not even that good, but they just roll up and Kansas, just rolls over.
Doesn't matter.
Yep. So anyways, I digress because that's probably a crazy scenario, but
One of our tasks as members of the media, that's an official title.
it is. And you're
You
not
get
even
passes for
technically
us.
wrong, Josh, about that.
No,
either.
this is exactly. We have the opportunity and the responsibility of gauging what the next college football internet sensation is going to be. Last year, it was Cal and the woke agenda taking over
The Calgorithm.
Yes, exactly.
The Calgorithm.
And it was just an early season trend, but it got
Yeah,
them game
absolutely.
day.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it got them
A
game day.
win. An absolute win.
So we have to look at the next potential Calgorithm. No, it could be Cal again. Most likely not. It always could
No,
be.
not this
But-
Cal team.
What we've talked about and what Aaron's been talking about is if the stars align, this could be a very fun. To answer your question, Aaron, no. The internet will not be able to handle
Hmm.
an undefeated Kansas going into Lubbock
Hmm.
in the
Oh,
least.
that's just beautiful. I just want
Much
to go
less,
back to
much
Lubbock.
less them getting
if that
out of
happens.
that.
I want
And-
to. I might have to fly down to Lubbock for that game.
Yeah.
That just
Please subscribe
sounds
to the
too
YouTube
good to
channel
miss.
so I can also fly down. Yeah.
How far is
Lubbock
that?
is lovely.
I can make that drive. It's probably like
It was
10
a
hours
fun
from me.
visit.
I've looked, Josh, because when I've come to visit you, Texas Tech has always been playing a home
You always
game.
want to go to Texas.
And I
Yeah.
always want to go, and I think it's like 5 hours.
Yeah, it's not close.
Oh, I can do that.
I was closer to it in New Mexico.
Yeah.
That's why I visited.
Uh-huh.
Guys, Texas is stupid because everywhere from Texas, 5.5. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Now,
was closer.
bad
in
news for Texas
Albuquerque,
Tech. They lost their starting running back with a torn ACL. That came out just like a couple hours ago. And they, now to catch you up, apparently this is a Big 12 podcast now, which is fine. And yes, did we already have a Big 12 preview?
I'm
Amazing.
25 minutes from their headquarters, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like we said, I am in the heart of everything.
Right.
Well, you're the headquarters of every major conference.
Both coasts
And minor
the
conference.
plains.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big Ten, don't you dare encroach on the space. I already have enough.
Yeah, to think Josh has just been collecting conferences like Thanos
Yes.
collecting Infinity Stones, and soon he's going to be the commissioner of college football, the one that we both need and deserve.
Welcome to the Big Ten, Rice.
Yeah. It's a
The academics really.
well, it fits them and Purdue.
I
That
mean,
rivalry
it
probably goes
fits.
crazy.
Oh man.
What was I talking about? I don't know. Doesn't
Oh,
matter. Wasn't that important? I guess.
Lubbock.
Oh,
Kansas
yeah,
is
Texas
going
Tech.
to
Kansas,
win
yeah.
the
Yes.
Big
Perfect.
12.
Correct.
Good show. Good show. We're good.
I
good
looked at my
this.
predictions, which are coming out soon, by the way. I've got them 5 and 7, but ignore that. Just listen to listen to the pipe dream that I talked about. That's what you really want to hear. Game 4, Western Kentucky versus Sam Houston. So Sam Houston majorly has overachieved the last couple years. They have just recently become an FBS team, and they won 10 games last year, which is crazy. I don't think that's going to happen again. I think there's going to be quite a bit of regression because their head coach is now in the American Conference. Western Kentucky is kind of a team that plays a lot of offense and plays no defense. So I'm excited to see this game. This could be maybe the most high-scoring game of the day. If you like that, I can tell you the game following them will not be a high-scoring game, probably.
Oof.
But we'll get to that.
A rough game.
I'll be honest, I haven't done my super deep dive into Conference USA yet. I'm quickly approaching that. Stay tuned to our social medias because we will release a bunch of information about Conference USA just in time for week 0 to get you caught up on this matchup. But I will say this, I love that it's a conference matchup. You obviously get that with the Farmageddon, but you get it in Conference USA where, again, you got to step into the shoes of these group of 5 teams where the conference slate is everything. Because more than likely, a playoff's not in play for Conference USA. We'll see. Liberty would like a word before I totally rule out the conference. But
No.
it's
I'm
all
not gonna
about
give
winning
them
that trophy at the end of the year. It's about hosting the Conference USA Championship at the end of the year. So
Yeah,
I would say Western Kentucky is certainly in the mix for that. So that's a lot of fun.
absolutely.
That's a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
$14. Go to the game. Go to
Ooh.
Hotchkiss
Oh,
Industries,
go.
LT
Don't
Smith
tempt me,
Stadium.
Josh. Because that's
Sam Houston's at home.
Western
Western
Kentucky's at
Kentucky.
home.
It's even closer.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know.
Bowling Green's only like 4 hours.
I know.
You can get to Bowling Green real quick.
I wanna get there this
it's
year.
7 p.m. kickoff for y'all.
Yeah,
You know what? No.
You won't.
I
You
mean,
won't. Over under 60 and a half. Go for it. Go watch.
Before I buy tickets right now, we should move on to the final game.
I was gonna say
Don't worry,
maybe
I'm
we
buying
just show
for
up
ya.
as media. I'm not gonna rule that out.
media.
Anyway.
Oh, here, if you guys want to splurge, I got some real good 100 level seats for $40.
Okay.
Mm.
I'm interested.
Right by the visitors sideline. I think you guys would have fun.
Okay. I love that. Okay. Game 5. Final game of the night. Of course, that kicks just half an hour after that Western Kentucky Sam Houston game. We've got
can only buy
Hawaii.
1 or 3 tickets.
Oh.
How dare I?
3.
Not an option for 2.
That's too
Leg
bad.
room.
Yeah. Hawaii hosts Stanford, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
Hawaii Challenge.
CBS. Yeah, it is a Hawaii challenge. It's one that if you can't win, then
Please.
that's tough because it's a 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time kick. Stanford's a very interesting team, not because they're going to be very good, but more because of kind of the behind the scenes, like this interesting offseason transition they had with their coach. So Troy Taylor gets fired for off the field issues. We'll just leave it at that. Of course, he goes 6-18 in his first 2 years, so that made it not
Doesn't
that
help.
difficult for him to be fired that way. Andrew Luck comes in as the general manager. Well, correction. Andrew Luck comes in as the general manager, looks around, sees how things are going. Then the stuff comes out about the coach. He fires the coach, and he brings in Frank Reich from Indianapolis, his former NFL coach, just for a year, I think. But he brings him in as an interim head coach. So this is like a weird one and done thing for Frank Reich, which is unique. It's not even one of those things like David Braun coming in with Northwestern, where it's like, well, he's the interim, but maybe if things go well, which they did, we'll hire him full time. Apparently, this is pretty set in stone that this is truly a 1 year thing. Stanford, if you fell into a 7-year coma, you'll be very disappointed in what Stanford football has accomplished. Their win total: 2020, 4 wins; 2021, 3 wins; 2022, 3 wins; 2023, 3 wins; 2024. Any wild guesses out there? 3 wins. Yep. 4
I was going to say
years
maybe,
in a
maybe
row.
trending upwards.
Yeah,
Maybe trending upwards.
I
Not
appreciate
quite.
your positivity, Josh. 4 wins in a row. They would wish 4 seasons in a row of 3 wins, and I'm here to tell you that 3 wins might be an achievement for this team because they're with all of the off-season stuff. There's a lot of moving pieces, and so it's kind of one of those that also the roster looks a little bit different. Schedule is not easy. Week 0 at Hawaii. It's not even like they get a home game. There's 6 road games. Then they're at BYU in a couple weeks. And then you've got
no
the
way.
ACC schedule, which is not a brutal schedule if you don't live in California and have to travel to North Carolina, to Miami, to SMU, to Virginia.
Ooh.
SMU's easy
Yeah, relatively
in,
speaking.
in comparison.
Yeah. And oh, by the way, at the end of the season, let's just end with Notre Dame at home. Why not?
Sure.
Oof.
Yeah. So
Aaron, do you think they win this game on Saturday?
I do think
I
think
don't.
they will.
I am not confident. Like, I actually think this could be a decent Hawaii team. Not like great, but like by Hawaii standards.
Sure.
I think so. So
And,
they played
like,
2 years ago.
It being home for Hawaii, like, and the chaos by now, that chaos can also galvanize a team. Now, like Aaron's saying, galvanize Stanford this year is like 4 or 5 wins,
Mhm.
maybe. But Normally, this would not be a losable game, and to me, it is absolutely a losable game for Stanford. Would you be shocked if Stanford were
No.
to lose to Hawaii?
No. I
There
think
you
they
go.
win.
That says everything
And I think
about
they-
where Stanford football is.
Yeah. I do think Stanford wins. I like them by double digits. I don't know what the line is, nor do I really care all that much. But I think the
Oh,
biggest
I
thing
do.
for me to watch, Johnny's over there smiling. I know you've already got your Monopoly money put in on this game, I'm sure. The biggest thing to me for Stanford, can they run the football? In this game specifically, because overall I have my doubts, and that's been the biggest issue. Stanford, in their heyday, had guys like Christian McCaffrey and Toby Gerhardt and Stephon Taylor and Bryce Love. Like, there was a perennial, like, oh my gosh, this guy could run for 2,000 yards kind of running back. I'm just looking for a guy that can run 1,000 yards this year and starts in week 0. Can you run the ball against Hawaii? Because you should be able to assert your physical dominance with no disrespect against the Rainbow Warriors. You should be able to. Tight end Sam Roush, I think he's going to be a matchup problem. I think he has a big day. Can be like 60 yards, a touchdown from Roush. But otherwise, yeah, this is tough outlook for Stanford, but I like him. I like him here. They did play Hawaii in Honolulu in 2023, and the Cardinal won 37-24. Now, that was not a super good Hawaii team. They finished 5-8, and I think they're better this year, Johnny, to your point. But I'll go Cardinal.
Stanford also had a lot of unlucky. Not a ton of blowouts. Last 5 games for Stanford.
Yeah.
Hosted Wake Forest, lost 27-24. North Carolina, NC State, sorry. NC State is kind of the only outlier here. What's that, like an 11-point spread? Or sorry, 21-point spread. So it's NC State, whatever. Beat Louisville 38-35. So again, tight.
That's a great win.
Great win.
And they beat Syracuse. This was such a weird team last year.
Yeah. Lost to Cal 24-21, but they were in Berkeley. So toss up, and then lost at San Jose State 34-31. So these are tighter games than the schedule's going to or sorry, than their record is going to showcase overall. Not nothing. Still lost, but could be a little bit more. There could be some wiggle room this year. Maybe 1 or 2 of those go their way this time.
Sure.
If this is how they're playing.
Especially when teams have to travel, to your point, Josh, when teams have to travel out to Palo Alto.
Right.
Because that does work inversely. Not completely,
for sure.
because
Right.
Stanford consistently has to go make those trips cross country. But college athletes aren't used to making a cross country trip once. Especially in a normal schedule, not a bowl game.
Yeah.
So that still, they will win a game in conference that they probably shouldn't at home this year. Not because of the home environment, but because of travel. Probably.
And they were
Probably
21-point underdogs in that win against Louisville. And that was a not bad Louisville team. Here's, if you are a Hawaii fan or you want to see Hawaii win, here's your path to victory. Stanford ranked 130th in football and passing defense. They allowed 280 yards a game. Do you know who Hawaii's head coach is? It's Timmy Chang with, in his Hawaii career, 17,000 passing yards. I'll give you one guess. If you've not watched them play, what do you think style of offense will the Rainbow Warriors play? It's going to be a lot of passing. So it is interesting. It's Hawaii's offensive strength against Stanford's defensive weakness. Has Stanford done enough this offseason in camp to address that? I mean, there were 134 teams in the FBS, and Stanford ranked 130th. And there's teams
go
like
Rainbow
Kent State
Warriors.
who were just abysmal on this list that probably ranked behind them. And I don't know who else. But anyways, it was not a good defense overall. Stanford allowed 33.7 points per game.
Not good. Can't do that.
Yep. Sure can't. So that's the path to victory. It's just the Rainbow Warriors just dice that secondary apart. Maybe they get some pressure on Stanford because the Cardinal did allow 39 sacks as well last year. So there's your path to victory. And I don't want to root against Stanford because I mostly feel bad for you and I wish you were better. But I also love Hawaii. Like, come on.
I can't cheer against Hawaii.
I'm not cheering against them. So
No.
we'll see. We'll see.
If you do, you're wrong.
Yeah. Speaking of wrong,
You know who else is wrong?
How's that for a segue?
Nice job. Good job, everyone. We got
You're
it.
welcome.
Got it in one.
Oh boy. All right, I'll set the table.
We
and
didn't talk
then
ahead of time and take photos of all of us doing our own private setups and then share it to one folder that we then deleted and then complained about it later. Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry. You were going to say something, Aaron, unrelated?
All right, I'll set the table and I'll let you guys run with this. And I've got some thoughts too. But listeners, if you've been listening to the show for any length of time, and mind you, again, you've got 3 Buckeyes yelling into their mics about this. We have told you from the beginning, almost, well, at least for the last year, hey, would it be kind of hilarious if Michigan just got the death penalty? I mean, yeah. From a pure Buckeye perspective, yes. We told you it's not going to happen. The NCAA loses every major lawsuit they're a part of. They have no power. College football makes too much money for one of their top products to just be bad. Or worse, to not even be able to be in the picture of what brings in so much money, the college football playoff. There was never a path. Even though the NCAA said, hey, this probably should have been the punishment, there was never a path in which Michigan was getting a postseason ban or if they were getting their championship taken away. That was never going to happen. We told you as much. We told you, hey, Sharon Moore probably gets suspended. We said 4 games. It's 3 games. Okay. Massive fines. Yes, massive fines came true. Significant fines. And I'm actually a little bit surprised how significant. But we told you. We have told you for months. We have been on the pulse of this, mostly because I would like to give ourselves a pat on the back. We can take the scarlet and gray glasses off our eyes and actually see what's realistic. And we try to do that for you because while a lot of you are Buckeye fans with us, we know that there are many of you that are not. In fact, I know for sure that we have Michigan fans that listen to this show, which is great. And I'm curious your input on this as well. Feel free to comment on YouTube Live or the podcast or wherever you're watching from. So I will just say that we were correct. I will also say, and I tweeted this out, if Purdue does the exact same thing that Michigan does, the NCAA is punting them into the sun, never to be heard from again. But that's the difference in college football. The haves and the have-nots has been a thing in college football for a long time, and it's playing itself out. Now, gentlemen, I'll turn it over to you because I know within all of that, there are still a lot of thoughts. There are still a lot of things that were said that were controversial. Even though we were correct, that didn't make those things any less controversial.
Josh, I'll let you go. But
I figured.
before then, I just want to ask one question to you guys. If this had happened 15 years ago, do you think the punishment is different?
Yes.
Drawn and quartered.
Yeah,
Okay.
15 years ago was Tattoo Gate.
The NCAA
that's
admitted
what I
this
thought.
much.
If
So
this
I wanted-
equivalence,
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
that's
and it's
I just
different, and
wanted
I've
to
heard
ask that
doing a false
so that we can
equivalency.
be clear
Yep.
on the part of the reason why that we from the beginning thought that this would be the result. So go ahead, Josh.
You know that one scene in every mafia movie where they're like, "Hey, tell me about the flowers, Johnny," and they start talking, and like, you know, as the one guy's talking, the other guy pulls out a gun and just, I don't know if Apple Music lets us do that type of stuff on their
We'll find
podcast
out.
hosting. We'll find out. That's what would have happened to Harbaugh and Stallions, and probably more as well. May not. Why not? False equivalency with Tattoo Gate. Not quite, because at the very least, as soon as he was caught, Trussell did in fact go, "Hey, yeah, that was me." Harbaugh, in an interview yesterday with the Chargers, gave another, felt like a frustrated non-answer again. So to this day, he has not said anything yes or no about whether or not he was involved. The quick out gave us suspicions. The self-admitted destroying of evidence gave us suspicions. And now in a 60-plus page NCAA report saying that the organization was, quote, that Harpo, quote, ran a program that was largely dismissive of rules compliance, with little, if any, emphasis on following the rules. To the contrary, programs saw compliance as the enemy. That gave us suspicions. And yes, we knew that it was going to be you're going to see some headlines saying this is historically the largest fine ever handed down as a penalty by the NCAA. I think the next highest was did Louisville get like $7.5 million as a penalty?
I think so. Yeah.
Something along those lines a few years ago, and that was historic. That had never been done to that scale before, and so we're looking at a minimum of 20 mil coming down over the course of time. Like Aaron said, a few random games here and there that Moore is going to be sidelined for. Johnny will probably give us more of the details in the sense of, if you haven't read the report yet, the penalties are essentially, they're not getting any wins vacated because, quote, by the time, well, two things. One, quote, by the time that Stallions had been found and caught, allegedly, and everything else had been, again, by Michigan's standards, reset to normal. That was already the 2023 season. And that's okay because Harbaugh was only suspended like 3 times that season. Historic, had never happened before. Anyway, we knew that. The second reason. Sorry, this is how weird it is. The second reason they didn't get any vacated wins nor a postseason ban was, quote, we don't want students who didn't participate to be in previous seasons with this to be penalized in future seasons unnecessarily, which is also not historically how they've worked on things. Oh no, the things were already we only consider vacated wins if it was like affected the on-game performance. It's kind of the goal of cheating.
Even though they said it, they literally said in the same
they also said in the same breath
that it generally did have effect on the outcome of games.
Yeah, quote, Michigan's repeat violator status coupled with its level 1 aggravated case classification is sufficient grounds for a multi-year postseason ban. That's according to one of the 74 pages.
That statement was infuriating. That one was infuriating.
And here's the thing, and I don't know what Johnny's going to get into, but what grinds my gears is we've seen for months the Michiganders, not all of them, but a lot of you. It was a lot of you saying, oh, it's probably not as bad. They're just over it. Harbaugh's been against the double NCAA. They've had it out for him for a while. And sure, some of their dumb rules got levied on him. We've talked about that. I don't know if we ever defended him specifically, but the hamburger gate and some of that stuff was stupid.
Right.
But we've been historically against that stuff anyway. Go back to the 3.5 years of podcasts we've been doing on some of this. Anytime compliance comes up, we get a little testy no matter who it's being directed to because it's dumb. Regardless, we had so many Michiganders, insiders, experts, dumb fans, podcast hosts, the worst, bloggers, message boards saying, oh, it's a nothing case. It's a nothing burger. Nothing is going to come of this because nothing happens. Now we have 74 pages of you guys ran a stupid, dumb, very, very unethical, uninterested in rules or standards team for years. And now the Michigander fans are going, yes! We told you we were going to win. That wasn't what we had said. We said you guys were stupid and cheating, and you guys just went, yeah, and it made us win. And that's the conversation I've been seeing post. Going, oh, dude, you guys couldn't even beat us when we weren't. And yes, we had talked about that. Again, listen to our podcast. We were very frustrated in November we were ready to boycott the team. We were ready to
Yeah.
set Ryan Day right on fire.
Our issues weren't
Because
so
that
much
was the
them
year-
cheating. It was Ohio State's insistence on running directly into 2 first-round defensive tackles.
That's turns out not how you win a football game.
Yeah.
And thankfully they learned all that, and it ended up being okay.
Why we needed that,
afterwards.
I'll never understand.
Never understand. I'll go to my grave not knowing.
Yep.
Best of luck.
Mhm.
The frustrating thing now is because there is technically, legally, no asterisk next to the 2023 championship. I now have a bunch of Michiganders on my timeline saying that, oh, their catch this, their championship is more legit because they didn't have losses in the season.
Hmm.
Their 2023 run was more impressive than the Ohio State 2024 run because Ohio State lost 2 games.
Right. And,
Well,
credit to Michigan.
Josh-
They beat both top 25 teams they played that year.
Josh, I hope they enjoy it because it's the only title they'll have for the next 50, just like it was before. Because in 97,
And again,
they didn't even deserve
And in
to
97, guess
share
what it
that
also
one.
was?
And it would
Disputed.
be nearly 80 years.
Well, I'm
Can
really
you
quick. I'm
imagine?
gonna move the mic away.
It would literally
Everyone
have been
agreed in 97 too
like
that Nebraska
over 80
probably should
years
have
if
gotten
they had
that
not
number 1
gotten
spot
that
anyway.
share.
Yeah.
Yep.
They have not had since
yeah.
since the 40s any ounce of like, oh yeah, undisputed. You guys are pretty solid. They're always going to be little brother. Oh, we got the win rate. Cool. Congratulations. We've been chipping away at that pretty decently for the past
Yeah.
25 odd years.
Back when we were sending our children to the mines, you were winning. Congratulations.
Yes.
Anyways, Johnny, what do you got?
Yeah, you guys said most of it. Josh, that quote was absolutely infuriating. I think that was the main one that got me. And again, what Aaron said, we knew this outcome ahead of time.
Yeah. Mhm.
There was a small piece of me hoping that there would actually be justice. And the NCAA, what they published from their findings was more infuriating because it basically confirmed every suspicion and they still did nothing. I mean, I appreciate the fines. And the reality is they're hiding behind, well, we didn't want to punish the athletes. That has never stopped you in the past.
And it's not stopping you this year.
Absolutely would have punished the athletes. Yeah, you absolutely would have punished all the athletes, but Michigan would sue, you would lose. And that's why. Like, don't hide behind that. And also, you're not punishing the athletes. Michigan is.
Mm-hmm.
If you are teaching students and you have to punish them, or if you have kids and you have to punish them via discipline, which means withholding privileges and things that they enjoy doing so that they'll do their work or do their chores or behave, you are not actually the one really taking that away. Their choices have done so.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan had done that to themselves, not the NCAA. You knew the rules, you chose to break them. Anybody who has been in that role dealing with kids understands that. So Michigan can continue to act like little kids that has no idea what they did and roll their eyes at you and make faces. But Josh, you're right. They technically don't have an asterisk, but ask anyone who's a neutral fan and they have fully lost the court of public opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Every other fan base, which I think that has been actually the most,
Yeah.
that has
They're
been the
gonna
biggest takeaway for me this week, has been that, oh, wow, this is not Big Ten fans. This is not Michigan State. This is not just Buckeye fans. Of course, they're the most angry out of the group.
Oh, sure.
But go ask an Alabama fan, go ask USC, go ask Texas. They're all like, yeah, that is garbage. Because they've all been in that situation with the NCAA for the most part, and they felt punishment.
USC's never
real,
recovered.
true punishments.
Yep.
I mean,
And there's a
Speaking of
there's a
SMU going to the
frustration
game,
and then
they just
anger
got,
from those other programs, because this was not a questionable, did it affect the games. Like some of the others were more off the field things that would have technically made players ineligible, but it didn't make them run faster. It didn't make them know where they were supposed to be on the field. It didn't give them really any sort of advantage in the field of play. Technically, they broke NCAA rules, though. But the bigger issue is here.
They knew.
We have no
Page 13
governance. Yeah, but they knew.
Instead,
Yes,
in a
they knew.
quote,
They knew
I shattered
anyway.
100 pieces. I shattered my phone into 1,000 pieces under a pond. They don't have hard drives of the film. My film is at the bottom of the pond. He knew. They knew exactly what they were doing. Once
they destroyed the evidence
the gate was up,
immediately.
which then
And because
means
it's not the federal court of law, the destruction
all
of
essentially
evidence
civil. Yeah.
is not anything that they can really go after
Well, and
them
now
at.
that Michigan is appealing, because that's the other thing, is Michigan has appealed. Now, to a degree, I knew it's almost like the song and dance. You're gonna appeal.
Yep.
They
You
should
knew
come
that was
back
again
and
gonna
actually
happen.
punish them as they should for
I
appealing.
want this to go. If
I
they're
saw
gonna
that
appeal,
instantly, and I'm
bring
like,
this
you're
stuff
right.
to Discovery. I want more. If they're going to,
The
in
audacity.
our show notes,
Honestly, the
Aaron has
audacity.
said, in our show notes, Aaron kind of said the Michigan saga coming to a close. It's like, or comes to a resolution, and that's true. I'm hoping that Michigan shoots themselves in the foot by going, no, we're going to appeal this because of lack of evidence. Was their allegation? You guys didn't have enough to punish us. You're just using the fact that we destroyed all the evidence that you would have used to punish us, and that's not fair.
They should turn
Please
around
go
and
through with
actually
this.
hammer them.
Please do this.
You know what? We were going to let you off, but because you had the audacity to actually come back at us. Anyway, so just to summarize that, the biggest issue overall is still that we don't truly have a governing body of the sport anymore.
No.
Because if you did this in the NFL, there would be hell to pay.
Mm-hmm.
And there is not in this situation because we don't truly have a governing body anymore. And because of the lack of the governing body, those who run the sport are the commissioners and the media corporations, the broadcast partners. And what Aaron said at the beginning, the broadcast partners would be furious if you took away one of the bigger brands from their media rights package in the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
And not only are they bad, as Aaron said, but they would not be able to even theoretically trick you into thinking, well, this might be our year because you already know they're ineligible.
Yep.
It would take a lot away from those ratings. And they're not going to do that right now because you don't have someone looking out for the best interests of the sport. And all this is going to do is embolden people to blur the lines and cheat more.
One of the
Because
first,
almost every school would pay this fine.
Yeah.
one of the
For a
first
title?
images
Yeah.
I saw of this was a little meme saying, it was that that Predator handshake meme, and it was Ohio State, Michigan. In the middle was spending $20 million on a championship, because now for those teams that can afford to, this is now the cost of doing business. When I was working among other people that were closer to, like, some of the richies down here in Dallas, there were people who would talk about, oh yeah, I know, one of my clients or a per people that I nanny for, they'll just park illegally wherever and they'll take the ticket because it is so minuscule compared to what they're making. They're like, this is just, they would jokingly call it like, oh, this is my parking pass. They'll park wherever, they'll take the ticket. They know it's not going to do anything to them because they're rich.
When you got to tow them, you got to inconvenience them.
Exactly. And that's not, and so to that point, correct, Johnny, the goal is to inconvenience at the very least at this point. And so now, because this is a historic number, this is a historic size for the fine, the question is going to be, we all know, I don't even know if Michigan turned a profit. Most college football programs do not turn a profit, or if they do, it's barely a break even. And I know we've talked about the specifics of what nonprofits are run as, and regardless, it's going to hurt. And they've calculated the revenue equivalent of two postseasons more or less. And so the question is going to be if this hurts them long term. And like you said, Johnny, now in the court of public opinion, if I'm a parent of a up and coming star of a child and they're killing it on the running back game, whatever, good at football, or I'm Australian and I'm really good at kicking and they fly me out, I'm going to have questions on, okay, can I trust you guys for the next few years? This might turn into a recruiting issue because you now have to spin. I've seen the spin of, Harborough cared about his players more than he cared about the rules. Well, clearly not, because where is he now? Chilling in LA.
I don't think recruits are going to care.
Recruits probably won't.
And the reason I say that is because they have the number one recruit in the country, which made me laugh because I got the meme. It is kind of funny. Like at the end of the day, yeah, Michigan basically did pay $20 million for a title, but I loved their like, oh, you guys just bought a title, as if you don't have the number one recruit sitting on your roster that you stole from LSU with like $8 million. Like, all right, yes, I get it, but let's not pretend that.
Yeah, I saw because with the announcement of Julian B and our QB1, I saw developed elsewhere. Like, guys, shut up.
Yeah. He was at Alabama for like a day.
But
I should have said Alabama transfer, Julius saying, because
it will be. Just like Caleb Downs. All season, it'll be Alabama transfer. Julian never even took a snap there.
Right.
It's like us
Quinn
talking about Ohio
is
State
more of a
transfer
Buckeye than Julian Sands is
funny.
From Bama.
Right.
And we didn't claim Quinn. He wasn't here long enough.
Yeah. Now we do claim Joe Burrow, but that's a different thing.
It's jokingly.
He graduated here. No, it's not jokingly. He graduated from Ohio State. That's
right. No, we can legitimately claim. I forgot about that. You're welcome, LSU.
Yeah. I'll wrap us up with this because I think what you guys alluded to, and Johnny,
we've only been going an hour.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Johnny, you said it, and that's what stuck out to me the most too with this. And again, it is Twitter. Twitter uses an algorithm to show me things that I like, that I will click the heart button on or whatever it is, and I'll see more of it. But I was surprised to see how many neutral fans were really kind of throwing Michigan under the bus for this. And I would say deservedly so. I don't know if that's an accurate representation of college football as a whole. I think maybe it is, though. Do you guys remember 2017? There's a team that won a title in 2017 that does not have an asterisk on their title either. Yet, if you say, hey, random baseball fan, tell me about the Houston Astros in 2017 and your feelings on that team, they're going to say, hate them. They should have been punished more. That maybe they say that World Series title is tainted. They're cheaters.
Yeah.
The same thing is going to happen to Michigan and is happening right now. The biggest punishment to Michigan fans who, like, yes, obviously the most annoying ones are out there like, oh, yeah, look at us. We got, there's a lot of fans that also just don't like the fact that their team cheated. And now they're not really
normal
very
people
vocal.
with morals and values?
Normal people that aren't chronically online. But the biggest hit to the obnoxious chronically online Michigan fan is the amount of energy you are going to have to spend for the rest of your fandom on saying that this championship is legit, even if it is or is not. It's not. It's kind of irrelevant whether it is a legit championship or not, because maybe the cheating itself actually had almost no bearing on the football field itself. Maybe we don't know that because
we don't know.
We don't know that because
there's not
from the NCAA's report,
there.
Quote, the true scope and scale of the scheme, including the competitive advantage it conferred, will never be known due to individuals' intentional destruction and withholding of materials and information. Guys, we will never know if that's
enough for the death penalty.
Well, sure. It's Michigan lying about it. It's the whole thing. And I'm upset about it too. Not really, because I kind of saw this coming. I don't think I'm as upset as you guys are, but I'm not even necessarily saying you guys are wrong for it or Buckeye fans are wrong for it. But that's where the punishment lies. And it gets worse if Michigan lays an egg this year, because this punishment can get worse. Not because all of a sudden the NCAA is going to come back and say, you know what, this was like $30 million. We're going to make it 50. because that's not going to happen, even with this appeals process. None of that's going to happen. If anything, it'll get less severe, which I don't think it will.
Right.
Where the punishment becomes most severe is Michigan struggles and struggles and struggles. They almost fire Jim Harbaugh after the 2020 season. They restructure his contract. They basically put incentives in place for him to hit, for him to stay as the coach. And 2021 rolls around. They have a great year. 2022, same thing. Another Buckeye victory. 2023, they win the title. 2024, they go 7-5 with Harbaugh gone, with some of that information coming out. I don't think they're going to go belly up in 2025. But what if they go 6-6? What if Sharon Moore gets fired? 2026 rolls around. It's a new coach. Maybe there's a lot of exodus. And again, I'm painting a worst case picture here. I don't think any of this is going to happen. I'm just saying, what if? Bryce Underwood gets his bag, goes somewhere else, a la Quinn Ewers. So he's gone. You probably didn't recruit the quarterback position a ton with him there because you are paying so much money for him. So maybe your quarterback situation is shaky, and maybe you go like 5-7, 6-6. It's not crazy because we've seen this happen to Michigan. This happened a lot. Yeah. Brady Hoke, Rich Rod, it happened. That's how the punishment gets worse. It's not just that Michigan would fall back to where they came from. It's that college football fans would know with near certainty, whether it's true or not, that the cheating had a major impact on the actual wins and losses column. And that championship, although tainted now, depending on your perception, will forever be tainted. And no one will take you seriously. That's how this punishment gets worse for Michigan. And that's where, if you're a Buckeye fan, it's in that situation, if you're really trying to rub it in a Michigan fan's face. I don't suggest that because you have lost to Michigan 4 years in a row. I suggest just maybe actually winning a football game. How about that? Maybe just win.
I would say win, first of all.
But that's...
No, you're absolutely right. The asterisk doesn't exist to the Michigan fans or to the NCAA, but it certainly is present in the minds of everybody else outside of those two specific groups. And you will have to live with that until you guys win a legitimate championship.
Because I can sit here...
Actually undisputed.
Well, right, because, Josh, we can sit here and say, yeah, we lost a couple games, but we won the whole thing. Like, we did what was asked of us. Our trophy, believe it or not.
Yeah, we lost to Michigan. Yeah, we all talked about that. Guess what we did?
Contrary to popular belief,
we didn't steal Notre Dame signs.
Our trophy looks and feels and weighs the exact same as Michigan's and has the same amount of value. Fun fact. So, again, I'll go back to what I said at the beginning. I think this was a known thing that Michigan was not going to be facing a postseason ban. I understand, Buckeye fans, why you were hoping for it. I get it. I understand why you wanted wins vacated. It would have felt like a victory lap that you, frankly, have not been able to get on the football field for reasons mostly your fault, but potentially not your fault as well. I'm not shocked. I mean, this is exactly we literally tweeted out the day before what will Michigan's punishment be, and we had a couple answers, and Johnny answered it, and it was what Johnny said, and it's what we've been saying. So I'll give ourselves a pat on the back. We were correct about this, which. We'll take those victory laps when we can get them because that's not always the case. But we're approaching college football season. We're about to be very wrong on some things that we think we're very right about. So, anyways, all right. Since we're so deep into it, why don't we do some picks? As my computer crashes. Come on, soundboard, you can do it. It's gonna play in like 20 seconds. That's gonna be so annoying.
Not perfect. I want to make sure I have mine.
Sometimes the guys make picks based on their vast knowledge of sports. Sometimes they make picks based on vibes.
Josh, why do you like journalism specifically?
It's because it's a concept, and it's like, I don't know. I just think for me, it's like a horse learning how to not only write, not only write and edit, but also like do like some sort of like in-field reporting. And I just like the idea of a horse with a little voice recorder.
Holds a mic up to the other horses.
Either way, they're probably going to be wrong. It's time for Picks of the Week.
If you're not live with us on YouTube or Facebook, which you can be every Monday night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, that includes during the college football season and during the NFL season, we time it out perfectly so we wrap up and then you can skip along to your merry way to Monday Night Football. Then you have no idea that the soundboard today has been acting up. So I basically hit a button and then we just all awkwardly sit in silence while we wait for it to react. If you're listening on Spotify, you have no idea because I have theoretically edited all of that out. We talked about it. Picks of the week, we're picking Farmageddon. No movement on the scoreboard. I lead 5 points. Josh has 3. Johnny has 2. Winner gets the Macoon mug, which is maybe the best trophy we've ever had. Actually, it is the best trophy we've ever had. It's not even close. We picked the Little League World Series last week. I've got a team in play. The Midwest team on the U.S. side is in the quarterfinals. Josh, I'm so sorry. Your teams have been eliminated. Johnny, you're hanging on by a thread. The West is alive, but they're in the losers bracket, so they've got to run the table here to win in Williamsport. So we'll report back next week with that. Farmageddon. I'll start because, in our Big 12 preview that we did a few weeks ago, I sat here and said, you know what? I think Iowa State's my championship in the Big 12. I did also say, for those with a really, really good listening comprehension, far surpassing my own, that I had the right in this conference and in this conference alone to change my mind. Well, I have. I've got Kansas State winning the Big 12. I did some soul searching. I did some thinking. I decided, do I like maroon or maybe they're crimson? Do I like crimson or purple better? And I think the answer is purple. Kansas State is my Big 12 champion. I think they're just going to get it done. Chris Kleiman's teams have been so consistent. And don't forget, they won the Big 12 2 years ago. It was not TCU that won the Big 12. It was Kansas State. So give me the Wildcats and in just a slugfest. I'll go 23-20. Kansas State wins. But wow, what an impactful game in the Big 12. I do think the winner of this game ends up in Dallas. I feel that comfortable saying that, which I probably shouldn't. It's the Big 12. Kansas could be there. We don't know.
Johnny, if you would like to pick, my rationale is short and dumb.
Okay. I also have Kansas State. I'm pulling my hair out trying to pick this one. I love both teams, so it's not going to bother me at all. I also have Arizona State going back to back in the Big 12, which I know is nobody's picking Arizona State. I feel like because they're terrified of picking a team to win 2 conference championships in a row in the Big 12. But anyway, I think the winner of this game is most likely there with Arizona State playing them in the Big 12 title game. And I think it'll be Kansas State. And that's because I trust the pieces around Avery Johnson more than I trust the pieces around Rocco Becht. And that's only because of the quality that Iowa State lost in the draft, specifically at wide receiver. So I have just more trust in the weapons Avery Johnson will have at his disposal. And I'll say a little bit higher scoring than Aaron because I think there will just be a few blown plays defensively early in the season, college football wacky type of things.
True.
I'll say 31-27 Kansas State. Shocked if this is a 2-possession win for either side. Shocked.
Kansas State, in their last game of the 2024 season, beat Rutgers. Good job. In the Rate Bowl. All bowls are good bowls because it's football.
Correct.
I'm not knocking that. Iowa State, their last game of 2024, beat Miami by 1 point in the Pop-Tarts Bowl.
That game
I don't know
lit.
about you, but the Pop-Tarts Bowl just means more.
Josh, they will be there in Ireland, by the way.
Yeah.
Mhm. I'm so excited. And that's why
actually
with
great
that
rationale.
with that
Great
home
rationale.
team, with that home field advantage, that home tart advantage,
Oh, wow.
Iowa State.
You made me rethink my entire logic.
Oh, man. If that's not the bumper for season 5, something we've gotten. The next episodes are stupid, then. This is what that means. Josh, well done. I love that pick. I love that pick.
The guys spent hours scrolling social media, and they found some pretty dumb stuff. Now they want to talk to you about it.
Do they need a guy on weekends to like walk around random McDonald's and like dressed as a Grimacy? Because I'll take that.
Are
take
you
that job
okay saying
now.
bad things about the British?
Good luck. It's time for What We're Following.
I think
Always.
we
I
have,
have
And
no
forever.
comprehension of that context. What that had to do with. Oh, now I remember. Never
Yeah.
mind.
Uncle
I
Grimace.
feel like O'Grimacy. I feel like that was probably when Aaron was scouring
IRA.
through the archives. That was probably the most mild reference to the Ireland, England's.
The IRA. It's literally a reference to the IRA.
It's the
Yeah,
Troubles,
not
and
that
I think that was
IRA,
probably
the other IRA.
yes.
right.
So thank you for finding the most PG version of what we were joking about
Yes.
that episode.
Well, I had to. It's week 0. We're going to Ireland. I mean, not actually
Have to.
going, but I'll sit there on my couch and look at the television and feel like I'm there. Maybe.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Eat
guys.
a potato.
Yeah, true. I can start because I'm not following anything quite as fun and exciting as you guys are, because I'm really in a kind of Ohio State mind frame today. I think the whole Michigan thing did that to me. So I'll keep it going with a quarterback battle that I don't think a lot of people care about, because I don't think there's a lot. Now, I care. We on this show, you listeners, we care because we're good college football fans. But the collective we, meaning just society, probably doesn't care about this quarterback battle, even though it's happening with Cal, the Calgorithm. The reason I bring this up from a Buckeye perspective is 5 hours ago, Pete Thamel is reporting that true freshman, and I'm gonna butcher this last name so bad, and I'm so sorry. It's
He's from Hawaii.
he is
I'll
from
give you a
Hawaii.
break.
Jaren Kiwai Sagapolotele. I'm sure that will become much easier when I hear an announcer say that, because this true freshman from Hawaii, who, by the way, passed Dylan Gabriel for the state's all-time passing leader. So this is a good get for California. He is the starting quarterback for the Golden Bears. He was here, then he transferred briefly to Oregon. I think he looked at the quarterback room and saw maybe Dante Moore in front of him and said, it's going to be hard to start here. Actually, California might not be that bad of a place to go. So he's back. And that all happened within a 30-day time period, by the way, if you want to know how fast college football works. Why do I bring that up? Because Devin Brown was vying for the starting job at Cal. Which, to be fair, you'll see this again. Team previews are coming out. I wrote about this specifically, and JKS. I don't know if that'll be his nickname, like it is DJU, but we're rolling with it. We're kicking it off. JKS was going to be the starter at some point this year, and it's mostly the kind of offense that Justin Wilcox wants to run. Also, Brian Harsin is there as the OC. That's just a anyways. I'm sorry. I'm really in the deep end of college football. I think Buckeye fans will look
Amen.
back on the 2023 season, in which Ohio State finishes 11-1 with their lone loss to Michigan, and we'll say, "Wow, Ryan Day got that team almost all the way to the playoffs with that quarterback room." And I know I'm saying that about Kyle McCord, who set the record, well, not a record, but led college football in passing. I understand. But Devin Brown this was a quarterback battle between those two at one point, if you remember. Devin Brown can't
Clearly
even
a
win
real one.
Yeah, a real one. Devin Brown cannot win the quarterback job at Cal. And I'm not trying to disparage the guy. Like, the fact that he was even on the roster last year, I thought was kind of a testament to him sticking it out. But that's crazy. So good luck, JKS, true freshman. They start against Oregon State, it looks like. The Golden Bears do, and we'll see. I mean, there may be packages like Ohio State did where Devin Brown factors in the run game, all that stuff. But yeah, it just goes to show you, too, the transfer portal is not all that it's cracked up to be in the sense that there's not always a greener place to go. Sometimes the grass is as green as it will get in the current location that you're in.
Mm-hmm. Well put. And sometimes that grass isn't just greener, it's wetter. Guys, I would like to introduce you to 3 seals
Don't like that. This is starting.
the
Animal or stamp?
Or
artist. No.
Navy.
Artist, yes. Or artist.
Kiss
Seal.
by a Rose. No, I would like to introduce you to a 1980 article in the New York Times that I found in a discussion that was largely on an anti-generative AI art thread, going, why are people trying to generate stupid images when pictures of seals with guns in their mouth exist?
Like actual honest to goodness pictures?
And
Wait,
yes,
really?
I'll send those to you in a second, y'all.
Oh,
Please.
I don't know why I'm excited about that, to be honest. But
Right?
I think it's the
I see
novelty.
that.
of it.
I did a lot of digging because I was really, this is one of those things. If you saw my notes, I originally had New Sport just dropped. I was about to dust off the old air horn for another chess heads, but it turns out that wasn't a sport. It was just a side. It was supposed to be a shopping cart, pushing a shopping cart into like one of those shopping cart returns championship.
Yes, I almost said
Turns
that.
out it's not a sport. It was part of like a variety game show in
Well,
Germany.
Then that's our
Yeah, and
opportunity,
so-
Josh.
Yeah. And so many times I have hundreds of saved things ready to go for what I'm following. Half of them sometimes end up being either not that big a deal or are boring with more context. So I did my research on this when I was scared. And I am pleased to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, and SEALs, that in 1980, the New York police trained 3 harbor. I'm just going to read this. I'm going to read this verbatim. This is
What?
beautiful. Police horses, police dogs, and now police seals. 3 harbor seals taught to retrieve guns, tools, and other objects and to enter a diving bell to take a breath showed off their skills yesterday before police and other public officials at the Northwind Undersea Institute on City Island in the Bronx. Supervisor of the underwater
Outstanding.
recovery units says, quote, if that animal could jump in the East River and grab a gun or find a body, I'm all for it.
That's outstanding.
These
You know what they're called, Josh? What's the other name for a seal? A sea
I
dog.
know it. Sea dog.
They are great at retrieving.
They taught seals to grab guns. I believe
That's
these
great.
are animals that were rescued as part of like, I don't know if they were in distress and were grabbed or what, but oh, look at this. It's a seal grabbing a wrench. This program was not terribly unsuccessful. It was just like 1980. And so pretty soon they could invent robots to do this instead. And so it was more just short-lived than anything. But they were, this is another great quote. Again, I'm just going to read this verbatim. One of them, so if you've ever gone to the Bronx, and I know we all have, and you've gone to the Northwind Undersea Institute, which is still there. Stanley the seal is the official seal of the Bronx. But like, it's a state seal, a city seal, but also a seal. Fantastic. It writes itself. Here in the Bronx, this is again a quote from the article. 3 harbor seals are being trained to retrieve 38 caliber revolvers thrown into water tanks. In return, Joy Ross, their trainer, gives them a fresh herring. It's one of those herring for guns deals.
It's
so
Herrings for
good.
Guns might be a new band name.
that's outstanding.
Herrings for
And
Guns
everybody.
is a great band name.
That's
Thank you.
so good.
Oh, that is a fantastic band.
Oh,
name.
sorry. Oh, and then they did this in like other cities as well and taught people to do this. This is fantastic. They were rescues. They were rescues from Maine, and they were taught to retrieve things. And then they started doing things like learning how to unbuckle seatbelts and take air tanks to divers in distress. And that's
Aw.
sweet. But it's not funny.
No.
So I am going to send you guys on Twitter
It's
multiple
kind of
pictures
funny.
of guns being held by SEALs. That's what I'm
That's
following.
so good. Josh, that's a great follow.
Thank you.
As outstanding follow. I would love to be saved by a SEAL. Might
I'd
I
love to be
add.
saved by a SEAL.
Would be outstanding. I
And
went to
seals are
Seal
one of those
Island in
animals-
South Africa. It was great. They were awesome.
And I know there are multiple varieties of seals. So I can't blanket statement this, but seals by and large are one of the animals that I am convinced I could get along with and could
Not a
teach
leopard
them.
seal.
Not a leopard seal,
Harbor seal.
harbor seal, sea dogs.
Leopard
Them and
seals go
otters.
after the penguins. Not about
Yes,
that.
Not those. Not those. I've learned my lesson.
Good call. Mine's very quick what I'm following. What I'm following is that, one of my favorite fast food places to visit is Cane's. And you're probably thinking that, oh, Johnny's going to rant about like inflation and prices going up. And while I'm not a fan of that, Cane's is just kind of following along. Everybody's doing it.
It's
what
not raised
I'm
as much
upset
as they
about
could have.
Is the fact that every time I pull up to the drive-thru, they ask when they take my credit card, because it's usually just one window. Most of the time, it's not two windows. It's just one window, same window. They take your card, they give you your drink and your food. And I hand them my card. And when I hand them my card, they're always like, would you like ketchup or anything else with your meal? And I always say, yes, I would love ketchup. Cane's fries are very good, but they really could use some kind of sauce. So I'm like, yes, I'm not an animal. I don't put the ketchup on the chicken tenders. That's what the cane sauce is for. Don't at me for that. Every time I'm like, yes, I would like some ketchup. And every single time when I get home or I'm eating it in the car, and after they've handed me my bag, because I'm not one of those people that checks automatically, but also it's Cane's. You're basically ordering the exact same thing.
Sure.
No matter what you're getting. It's just the number of chicken fingers you're getting. They never give me the ketchup.
Really?
They have the audacity to ask every single time. And I never receive a single packet of ketchup. It's not so much that they don't give me ketchup. It's that they have the audacity to specifically ask if I want ketchup. And they never give it to me. And I'm fed up. I am fed up with Cane's for not giving me my ketchup. And I know you're like, Johnny, why don't you just have a bottle of ketchup at home? I do, but I shouldn't have to use it.
That's not the point.
That's your
It's the
personal
principle
ketchup.
of it.
Yeah.
It's wrong.
Right.
They're wrong for this. And one of these times, I'm going to get back in line and demand ketchup. But the line's always really long, and that's ridiculous.
Johnny, I gotta first off, how dare you? That's what I'm getting tonight. Two,
I had that for lunch today.
yeah,
Double
it's-
check, Josh. Double check
But
if they're
Josh,
going to give
you-
you if you ask
here's
for
the
ketchup.
thing. Here's the thing,
You
Johnny.
better check.
Down here, down in the South, bro, they don't even ask. They just
They
put
just
the
give it
ketchup
to you.
and hot sauce
See?
in.
That's correct. You shouldn't even ask. You should always put ketchup in there.
I know.
But if you ask, you better be sure there's ketchup in there.
So I'm in a third camp
Sorry.
where I actually never. No, I like ketchup, but with Cane's, I never want ketchup. There's enough sauce that I should be able to, and I usually can dunk my chicken and fries in Cane sauce. So
well,
I come at it from the before this. Now I'm entertained by this, so I don't mind them asking. But every time when they're like, "Do you want ketchup?" I'm like, "No, you make this sauce that might as well be the nectar of the gods, and you're asking me if I want Heinz ketchup."
I don't think there's
I'm
enough
offended
sauce
for
the
you.
tenders and fries.
No.
Then maybe
I
I
always
just-
get an extra
I-
sauce.
I don't actually get an
The
extra sauce.
ketchup's for the fries.
I must
And
ration
listen,
it
hot
well
take.
enough, but
Hot take. I do dunk the toast every now and then,
yeah,
as in every
In
time.
the
not
in
every
the,
time.
in the cane
but
sauce.
yes,
Yeah. You're
Yeah,
able
every
to
once
get
in a
you're able to
while.
get by. You're gonna get a box combo. I'm assuming you're doing box combo no slugs for toast.
oh, because
With the Dr. Pepper Easy Ice.
because I have a fully developed frontal
Only
lobe.
maniacs
Josh.
get the coleslaw. One time
no.
I saw somebody get double
Oh,
coleslaw,
jail.
and I thought I was
Dude,
going to
jail.
throw up.
Stocks and then jail.
Run them right off the road. So you're able to sustain. You're going to use one sauce. That is
Yeah.
the level. that's a discipline that I aspire to, but will never reach because I'm not that interested.
Well, the flip
And the
side to
ketchup
that,
doesn't
Josh,
cost
is,
more money.
Well, that's
Another
true.
sauce costs more money.
the flip
and
side
cheap.
to that, Josh, is maybe I am not doing a good job of. Maybe I am withholding too much sauce in an effort to
I've been-
spread it throughout the entire meal.
Mm.
Maybe I'm robbing
fair.
myself of potential joy.
There is, I mean, and I don't know, I mean, we've known each other for a while. I don't think you're anti-abundance, but maybe this is one of those areas of your life where you can adopt an abundance mindset of going, I make good money. I'm not rich, but I make good money. I've earned a right to treat myself. And by treat myself, spending an extra, oh, is it $1.15? You know what? That's a rounding error at the end of the month.
Josh,
Yeah,
we have been
give me
friends
the
for a
extra
long
sauce.
time, yet I've never heard you say the words in consecutive order anti-abundance before. But now I
Canes is
have.
anti-abundance when it comes to ketchup, apparently.
Apparently
Yes,
so.
it is.
A bunch of liars.
So my question though is, and maybe we need to put a poll out because I can tell if people weren't screaming at us inside their cars before, they are now. Like, you idiots, that's how you eat canes. I would be curious if there are more people in my camp, because if there are, if the default answer that the employee gets is just no, no, no all day, even a yes, just the muscle memory of actually putting, well, apparently maybe not in Texas, but the muscle memory of putting ketchup in the Cane's bag in Ohio just is not there because not a lot of people want it. But I don't know
wonder,
that to be true.
Because we're back up into the Midwest, and here's the thing, and this wasn't going to be brought up, but I got asked yet again. Hey, Josh, you're from the Midwest, right? I'm like, yeah, born and raised in Ohio. Like, so what's the deal with ranch?
What?
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
wondering
not with
if
the Ohioans
everyone's-
on that.
I don't know. It's like, it's fine. I put it, like, I
Yeah,
have it.
right.
It's not like I saw a definitive ranking of all the ranches out there, and by the Midwest, and it was like Hidden Valley being number one, and I'm like, this is a
Yeah,
fake. This is a fake.
Midwesterners are weird about ranch.
It's
I don't
weird.
get it. The
Guys,
whole
and
dipping your
I'm-
pizza into ranch,
Yeah,
weird,
no,
man.
no.
Don't.
Okay,
No.
I say that as if a chicken bacon ranch pizza isn't one of my favorites, but
Now that's different.
it is different.
I don't know why or how,
Well,
but
yeah,
it is.
It is.
Because that, again, that sounds so good right now.
I know.
Oh, man.
Action statement.
Oh, no.
Go to your local Canes.
Yes.
Ask for ketchup, even if you don't want it.
You know what? Don't do a
See
drive-through.
if
Go
they
in.
give it to you,
Go in.
and let me know. Is it
Want
me? Like, do they dislike me?
Maybe.
Is this
Because
for
this has been
profiling?
different people in the drive-through. So at this
how do
point, they
you-
have like a picture of me or something.
How
But
do you
ask for ketchup and let me know
when
if
they do,
they give it to you.
when they
I
do
just
one of
need
those
to know.
rhymes? When they do one of the rhymes in the
Yes.
drive-through, how do you respond? Here, we'll do a quick
I
thing
don't.
here. Hey, want some chicken today? No, you order.
That's right. Yeah, I'll have a box combo, no slaw extra toast with.
But you didn't answer the little rhyme I did at the beginning.
They probably hate the people who answer
Bingo
the rhyme.
bongo.
I'm not saying you have to be like a cornball.
No, but
and
they
go,
hate saying that.
Tell them all what.
They
Like,
sound like they're on the verge of death when they say that. They would like they
are doing anything
hate
to help them.
themselves.
There we go. Now
when
I'm
they're
back to
saying
victim
that
blaming,
line.
where you're not giving them any
They
reason
want me to
ignore
it.
actually- They don't
They
even.
don't want me to recognize that they had to say it.
Listen. You can do one of two things. Here's how I answer when they do that, because I also am with you. I don't answer with a rhyme, because first off, I don't know what rhyme they're going to do. I can't make up one on the spot that quick to do it. It's going to be bad, and they know it's bad. But I go, hi. I will start with a greeting, and I say please and thank you a lot. And when they all
I
ask
would
for
say
ketchup-
please and thank you. I'm not an animal.
Well, here's the thing, Johnny. Clearly, something's different because I've only failed to get ketchup once, and it was my most
You're
recent
right.
time.
Clearly something is wrong.
And I'm assuming it's. I mean, I'm just going to assume it's profiling.
don't know what's going on.
That's my default. Is that they're
It's
profiling?
profiling.
So I don't
Against
know.
Cypresians.
That's right.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Even though you're not, apparently that's just close. Everyone in Ohio hates anybody from Cyprus.
I was asked by one of my students if I was Portuguese.
That's not
Cool.
bad.
It's not bad.
Yeah. No, it was just kind of like, I haven't gotten that one before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
First
say not
time.
bad as in like there are bad options, which
Yeah, I was gonna say it's
that's-
like, oh yeah, that's European. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
moving up. That's bad.
yeah, that's a
bad.
slippery
I
slope.
don't. That's bad.
Yep.
I do not advocate for that.
No.
Apple, Spotify, Google Playlists, YouTube. That is bad, and we should not be thinking that.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm basically checking off different Mediterranean countries that I have
Oh,
been labeled
absolutely.
as. And Portugal was like, cool, check one more.
Oh, hey, dude, yeah, you Bosnian? Yeah, sure.
I've nearly encircled the Mediterranean at this point. I think I need Albanian and maybe
Okay.
Libyan.
Hmm.
Okay.
I got it.
You haven't gotten Libyan? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but go to your Canes. Let me
Canes, yeah.
know if they give you
Please
ketchup.
don't profile anybody. Also, that's
Yeah.
a side note. That's a secondary action
Right.
statement. Don't profile.
Oh. And to think we kicked
Aaron, end
this
the
segment
show.
off with the
Please.
bumper about how we like to make fun of British people. What is this show? I'll repeat what I said at the beginning. I don't know. This is probably why we're not allowed to have all three of us here. All right. Folks, if you're still there, seek help and enjoy college football. It's coming your way Saturday. We'll break it all down. We gave you a lot of thoughts on week 0. What's actually going to happen? Farmageddon, who's actually going to win? Will Stanford get a win? Will Kansas start their run to glory? We'll find out. We'll preview a lot of week 1 stuff next week. We'll give you championship winners. We'll give you Heisman winners. We'll give you a little bit of everything next week. So thank you for tuning in. We'll talk to you next time. Enjoy the college football.